Hi tribe, welcome back. Tidy Manifestation Goddess here. And I tried to record this video before, but my phone was kind of hating with the storage. But it is 6 a.m. in Dallas, and God got me out of my bed to record this message. So y'all know when God speaks, I listen. When Spirit speaks, I listen. When the universe speaks, I listen. When the all speaks, I listen. So I've been moving away from the term manifestation, more so embracing myself as an energy alchemist, more embracing my power to transmute. And I say I've been moving away from it, not saying that manifestation don't exist, but really what manifestation is the result of energy alchemy. It's the result of transmuting something. So what the world sees is the manifestation, but what I've experienced is the alchemy of it all, is the transmutation of it all. So I've more so been embracing my spiritual gifts, or my ability. I want to say everyone has it, but my ability to transmute and alchemize one thing into another. And I say this because I have kind of, most of y'all, if y'all follow me on Instagram, y'all know my story. And I'm not even talking about my recent story, more so years ago. And I had kind of went away from telling the story because I felt like if I told that part of my journey, I was giving it power. And what God has now shown me is I've transmuted that. Like, I'm above it. It doesn't matter if I speak on it or not, that it's on this lower vibrational plane, and I've now risen to this higher vibrational plane. So as long as I continue to live on this plane of existence, that this story has no power over me up here. It can't come up here. I'm already up here. The story's down here. But you can experience things that bring you back down there. But your part in this journey is what God said. Your part in this journey in your story is to stay above the pain. By telling it does not give it power. But by telling your story, what you are doing is giving other people power. You are giving other people who are currently on this vibrational plane, who's down here, you're giving them power to rise above it. So I feel like I've been more so called to share more of my journey. And I'm going to, I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I'm going to start with sharing my journey with dealing with POTS, a chronic illness, which is posterior orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. I don't think I'm going to get into too much detail in this video with my POTS journey, but what God was showing me is, so say that pain is over here and joy is over here. It is on the same spectrum, simply separated by degrees, simply separated by the degrees in between. So if you are experiencing this immense amount of pain, the pendulum is going to swing on the other side for you to experience an immense amount of joy. But what your job here is to rise above it. Once you experience the level of joy or whatever you want to experience, is to rise above it. So when the pendulum swings back that way, you're not experiencing this pain anymore. You're up here now. So you're not experiencing that pain anymore. I mean, it's the ebbs and flow of life. Like, it's ups, it's downs. So what your job is to continue to stay above it so you don't experience. It's not saying you're not going to have negative experiences in your life, but you're not going to have the same types if you rise above it. So when I was thinking about my POTS journey, and POTS is really, let me see the best way to explain POTS. POTS is when your nervous system, whatever your nervous system normally does automatically without your help, starts to malfunction. And it's not life-threatening, but you do feel like you're going to die. Like, it's like some sort of tease. Like, it feels like you're dancing with death, but you're really not going to die. When I say I was in the hospital, the ER, like 5 times a week, I couldn't walk. I couldn't work out. I couldn't stand because I would pass out. I was passing out so many times a day. Like, when I say life altering, if I wanted to brush my teeth, my heart rate was like 160. And I try not to tell that part of my story because I feel like it was such an emotionally charged journey. I mean, it lasted like 3 years. And they told me that this was going to be my life forever. But I learned that I've risen above it, and it's okay to tell that pot's journey, because there's people that's going through pots and they think it's the end, where it's not. Like, you're able to transmute that pot into something else. But the biggest thing is, I would say the biggest takeaway on my pot's journey was, there was so many things, but learning to enjoy the journey. And what pots did for me was give me a sense of gratitude that nothing else could have given me. And I say that because I couldn't walk or play with my daughter. I'm now at the point where I'm able to walk my daughter to school. And because of that journey, I never take it for granted. I'm always such in awe and like so happy when I see her, or when we're walking to school, because I remember there was a point where she had to play with me in the bed because I could not stand up. So I feel like what Potts truly taught me was a different level of gratitude that I've never experienced, because there's so many times in life where we take the most mundane things for granted. So me getting up and walking to the fridge, anyone would take that for granted because that's what you naturally do. But when you cannot do it, and you're able to do it again, you do not take those things for granted. So what God was showing me, of course, so this is pain, this is joy, and let's take joy out of here. And we're on this journey. So God was showing me your journey, because now that you're out of it, your journey, even though you couldn't see it, your journey, it was there. Joy's still over here. You just cannot see it in the frame. So I feel like God was teaching me, like, just keep going through the pain, keep going on the journey, keep going, because although you cannot see joy's here. Although you cannot see it, it's there. And being a clairaudient, I feel like I've always had certain spiritual gifts, but I feel like, there you go again, pots really awaken me to these gifts, because when you're at your lowest of the low, you have no other option than to lean on God. And my clairaudient abilities are usually a word. So God literally would just give me a word. But this time, he gave me a sentence. He said, tomorrow will be better. And I survived off of tomorrow will be better. So if you are going through something right now, I am telling you, tomorrow will be better. It may not be what you think it's going to be, but it's going to be better than today. And I feel like that part of my journey taught me to find the joys in my tomorrows. Like, regardless if I'm struggling today, I would say tomorrow will be better. And eventually tomorrow was better. It got better little by little. This is that compound. It was literally compound interest for me. It got better little by little. And I learned to alchemize this pot's journey. It taught me meditation, which changed my life. If there's one advice I can give you through the entire video, meditate. You don't have to be a monk. You can meditate for 5 minutes a day. Meditate. Excuse me. But yeah, so as I'm on this journey, I couldn't see joy. All I felt was pain. But I eventually got to the side of joy, and I transmuted that to where I risen above it. So I don't have to experience pots anymore. That part of the story is over, and I'm now living on this different vibrational frequency. So this is why I kind of moved away from manifestation as a term that I use in the sense of what I'm doing, because it's really not manifesting. That's what the world is saying. It's me transmuting whatever this is into something else. It's me alchemizing it. And now the world is seeing me working out or whatever capacity as that manifestation of that transmutation. So even just explaining my journey now, like most of y'all know if I've seen my old videos, and I had got to a point where I didn't like to tell that old story anymore. Like, yeah, I went through divorce, I went through job loss, I went through homelessness, I went through all of these negative things, and I had got to a point where I didn't want to talk about it because I felt like I was giving it power. And what God was showing me is, no, you're not giving it power by talking about it. That's now saying that you're giving this low, you've risen above it. Now you're giving this lower vibrational thing power over you. Like, you're giving that power to rise up here with you. And it's like, no, you have the power. You talking about it and you declaring over your life that you have the power. You've already alchemized this. It's not giving it power. But what you are doing is giving other people power to know that they'll get through it. So it's like you went through these very traumatic experiences. And I want to say that because I feel like I don't ever want to take away from someone's pain. Because when you're going through something, it is truly hard. If no one else understands, I understand. When you're going through something, it's truly hard to see the way out. But remember, it's still there. That way out is still there. Just because it's not in view, it's still there. So I don't want to take away from that. And I feel like when I tell my story now of what I've gone through, how much it motivates and inspires others, because people who know me, like they're always like, I cannot imagine me, like, I would say having some sort of negative emotion, but I'm human, so I have negative emotions. But because I've transmuted it so much that I truly live in a state of bliss. And when I say that, again, it's not saying I don't experience negative feelings, because I do. And unfortunately, because I experience so much bliss, they're usually intense. On that other side, they're usually intense. But I've transmuted that to where I rise above it. And when you go through your journey, this is why I'm big on enjoying your journey. Because once you're going through your journey and you get to this side, you get to this joy, love, freedom, whatever. Once you get here, it makes you so grateful for the journey that's behind you. It makes you so grateful for the journey that's in front of you, because you are now in a mode of gratitude. Like, you're so grateful because you know what you've overcome, you've known what you transmuted, you've known what you alchemized, and you're on the other side of it. So I feel like this is why I've probably been called today. Well, not probably, this is why God called me today to share my story, because it's like you've gone through it and you've transmuted, you're above it. But what you're doing by sharing your story is helping someone else who's literally where you used to be, helping someone else who does not see tomorrow as better, helping someone else who is standing in the midst of it right now and is thinking, is there a way out? There is no way out. But you sharing your journey, because we all have a special story. You sharing your story is helping someone learn energy alchemy. We are literally all energy alchemists. It's a matter of tapping into that frequency, tapping into that power. But you sharing your story, and someone who's going through what you've already gone through, you're teaching them how to alchemize that pain to manifest it in their reality as something different. And I feel like when God was giving me that word, it's like, He's like, baby girl, because God is my man. So he's like, baby girl, it's okay to tell your story. Like, I've given you this journey to share it so you can teach others. If you are here to be a teacher, you have to teach others that they are able to transmute and alchemize that same pain that you've already gone through into something better. You can truly change it into something better. And once you do that, you will learn that that part of your journey, although you went on it, it's over, and you're going to go through something else that you're going to learn to alchemize, but then you're going to share that to teach someone else how to alchemize that same thing. So for me, that's what this video was truly about, is learning, is embracing my gifts as an energy alchemist, and not saying manifestation is not a thing, because manifestation is completely real. It's what you're seeing, what I've gone through, and now what you're experiencing with me is that manifestation. But embracing myself as an energy alchemist, embracing the power of transmutation. So I just wanted to remind you that wherever you are on your journey, that you are transmuting that into something else. So embrace it. And as always, I'm happy, I'm blessed, I'm free. Yahweh.